All right. Peace and shalom, family. We back. We back. It's Divine Prospect, Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, and we live. All right. So let me put the word out real quick. Let's get started. You know, we on a late night tip as always. So just give me a second. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Shabbat shalom, family. All right. So those of you joining in, if you're enjoying this content, you can hit the thumbs up. You definitely hit the thumbs up. All right. So shalom to everybody in the building. Shout out to Shawnee in the building, Snare Master, Toy, Daniel, Yisrael, Healing Journey, Goddess 66, Jazz Kinds, Yahu Kanan, Malak, Lorenzo, Amadis, The Black Av 1, Lorraine I Am. Shout out to all y'all in the building right now. Man, I got to start doing these live streams sooner. But I had to step out today. Otherwise, I would have been on here maybe about 2 hours earlier. You know what I mean? So next Friday, I'm gonna strive to be on here a little bit earlier, you know, at least by like maybe 11:30 or whatever the case may be, to give an opportunity for some people to jump in before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? But those of you who are the regulars, I mean, y'all rock out no matter what time of the day it is. You know what I mean? So shout out to Sean McGee in the building, Konat Yasharala, Gamaliel Padilla, Navia Yashael, Georgia Power, Young Ak, Georgia Power. Hold on. What? Shout out to whoever Georgia Power is. I hope that's not the utility company. You know what I mean? Spying on me, trying to see what's up. But shout out to Georgia Power in the building. Shout out to Myron Henderson. Shout out to Joseph Jones. All right. So don't forget, hit that thumbs up, family. Hit that thumbs up. All right. We're about to get started in another minute. Yeah, we got to do that soon, Young Ak. We got to do that soon. We're getting a lot of offers to come out to Europe. You know what I'm saying? More particularly the UK. If it's outside the UK, then, you know, I'm not too familiar with that. But just highlight me, let me know. Shout out to Bruce Mitchell in the building. Nasaba in the building as well. All right. Okay, family. So thank you, Jazz Kinds. She said, hit the like button, please. You know what I'm saying? So that way we can get this popping. Your Tucker, Georgia family. All right, Georgia Power. You know what I'm saying? So I may see you tomorrow then or later on today. Just don't serve me no bills or no statements, nothing like that. I mean, I'm up to date. I have nothing outstanding right now. You feel me? Shout out to Ma'ak Alakim Ben Yisrael in the building. Shout out to Tanika West. All right. So it looks like we almost got a full house today. Shout out to Brian Gate in the building. I don't know why you up either, but I mean, you're in the best place you could be at right now until you fall back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to all the family that's in the building right now supporting, man. You know, yeah, I got you, Malak. I'm about to get started in a second. I got you. All right. So, family, how y'all doing? Let me know how y'all doing. On this Sabbath. All right, before we get popping, I know some of y'all are finishing out your 11 bread week. You know what I'm saying? You know, for me and my circle, we do ours in a week. You know, we're gonna do our Passover in a week, and for that Sunday, which is unleavened bread, we're actually gonna be at Stone Mountain Park in Georgia. You know what I mean? So we definitely gonna have a good time with that. And I know a lot of y'all do follow the methodological model that I put out as well. So if y'all are following this Passover Pesach schedule on the 14th, just let me know in the chat and put your location. Shout out to Myron Henderson. I definitely appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. Shout out to Haviva Yasher Al in the building. Shout out to Shalak Yahu Natzarim. Shout out to Cohart's Music, Yashab Awam, Matayahu Yisrael, Phoenix, Arizona in the building. All right. So like I said, if y'all following the April 14th Pesach, then just put your location in the chat so other people can see it who may be in the area. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mr. Black Culture out in the building too, man. Share this link, man, because we about to go in tonight. All right. Got a couple things I want to get off my chest. Then I want to transition into Q&A. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, I hear you, young guy. I hear you. So like I said, if you're following the April 14th, leave your name, not your name, excuse me, just leave your location in the chat. All right. Joel Bellevue, you said you're in Atlanta. All right. So if you're in Atlanta, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post. Hold on. Put your email address in the chat. Joel, put your email address in the chat, and I'll give you information out there. All right. So family, look in the chat. You're gonna see some locations in the chat, and these are everybody who's keeping Pesach on the 14th. All right. So highlight these brothers and sisters in there. Shout out to Real Talk with Bree. Shout out to King Kosher. So shout out to these brothers and sisters that's in the chat that's putting their location in the chat. If they're in your area, holla at them, see if y'all can get together or whatever the case may be. If you need something from me, just let me know. And I'll help y'all out with y'all gathering or whatever the case may be until we expand out there. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we should be in your town by next year, this time next year. All right. So Joel Bellevue, I'm gonna send you an email real quick for contact information, just so you have it. All right, so if you're in Atlanta, you definitely want to come fellowship with us tomorrow if you can, or if you want to keep Passover with us, you can definitely do that as well. I know a lot of people that do come in from out of town, come in town to keep, Pesach with Kingdom Harbinger Ministries and HGA. So if those of y'all who are in the surrounding area of Georgia or Atlanta, and y'all want to come through, y'all feel free to come through. There's no fee, there's no charge. We're not doing y'all like that. You know what I mean? So, hold on. Let me shoot out this email real quick. All right. So I'll hit you up, Joel. You should be good. Wow. Colorado in the building. That's what's up. Georgia Power, why you shooting out your email address? What's up? You need something? Just let me know. Put it in the chat and I'll hit you up. South Florida in the building. Shout out to Sedaria Halliburton, Joseph Jones, and Cali, out in Cali. So Barzillai, Avshalom Shemaya, what part of Florida you in? Put what city you in Florida. King Kosher is in Charlotte, NC. So for anybody that's in that area, near the Charlotte area, you got another individual that's out there as well. Y'all can hook up. Shout out to my brother Ayash Hawad. Ayash, I'm gonna email you. We got the consultation going down on Sunday. Special invite only. So I'm gonna hit you up and bring you in. All right. So See the Truth. Shout out to See the Truth out there in South Florida as well. Sarasota, Fort Myers. Oh, you in Gainesville. Okay, cool. So family, just look at the locations in the chat, man. If y'all want to get together with these brothers and sisters, holla at them. And you can definitely get up with them offline and hook up with them for Pesach. All right. Yo, Young Ak, email me. Email me. Let me put my email address in there. Yeah, definitely email me. Email me. Because I like what you say that you're doing. Let me vet you out a little bit and then I'll promote you. You feel me? So I got you. Shalom to Vanessa Satterwhite. Shout out to Cam in the Way. All right, family. You know, we always try to make history with these live streams, man. I mean, these live streams is taking on a life of its own. If y'all forbid I miss a live stream, I get flooded with messages. Y'all like, yo, you gonna do the live stream? You gonna do it on Saturday? You gonna do it on Sunday? You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, I didn't realize it was this popping. You feel what I'm saying? But all praise to the Most High, man. Shout out to Sambone in the building. He's out in Chi-Town. So holla out the brother out in Chi-Town. Shout out to Mariel Ben Yahuwah. All right. So family, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. All right. We're about to get popping in seconds. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Definitely. So Joel, definitely text or call tomorrow. We're going to have our Sabbath at 1 p.m. out in Tucker, Georgia. All right. So email me if you want the address or whatever the case may be, and I can give it to you. And you could definitely come through. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, you're right, Mario Ben Yahuwah. I was trying to do it like maybe once or twice a month. Now I got to do it every week. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't do it every week, I'm going to get harassed until I do it. You feel me? So, you know, all praise to the Most High, man. I'm just really grateful that I could be a servant to you all. You know what I mean? And this is my due diligence in giving back to the community. You know what I mean? Thank you all for your prayers, your support, your donations, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. All right. All right, family. So we about to get started. Again, don't forget, share this link everywhere. Share this link everywhere. Hit that thumbs up. All right, if you feel what you're hearing. So we about to get started. I'm about to play a track by Shadow God, a.k.a. Malak Lorenzo Amadis, who's in the building with us. I'm going to play the brother's track. Then I'm going to speak about two businesses that we have within our community. I want to definitely give them a shout out. Then we're going to get started with the things that I have on my list to talk about. And then I'm going to open it up towards the end for Q&A. All right. Shout out to Azariah Abdial in the building. Jedediah Ben Israel in the building. All right. I think I covered everybody. All right. So as y'all come in, I'm going to shout y'all out. You know how I do. And let's get started. All right. So let's go ahead and play this music. Hey. Kelly Lewis, if you need instructions on that, email me. All right, email me, and we're gonna try to help you out. All right. Here's the email address, Kelly Lewis. Email us here, and we're gonna try to help you out with those instructions. All right. Let's get back to this music. Gonna be all night. No one have to give up their life. No more crying in the night. You heard me on your friend. No more stress, no more worries, no more demons in the sky. Surprise, no more having to surmise. But the truth is not what. Let me tell you why. You can look at me and not cry. Cause I make you safe and I'll make sure my lyrics touch you and shine. Being home ain't nothing new to us. Find a better way to keep my spirits up. Tastes good to you like cashews. The love is drink, I sip it up. I get the mountain
tops. Love on the agony stop. Anxiety taking over like digital clocks.
Shout out to Bruce Mitchell for the donation. I appreciate that. Anybody else who's interested in that, you can click on the super chat button. So in the chat group underneath that is your channel name. It says say something, and there's a dollar symbol. Click on the dollar symbol, click on the blue send a super chat button, and then you can go ahead and donate directly to Kingdom Harbinger Ministries from there. Thank you again, family. So let's get back to this music.
Through it all, the Most High always provide for the righteous. Ain't no other God who can judge like them. First word of the truth, that's why I recite them. Too many demons, I can't fight them. Picture of my dad, I look just like them. Song in my heart, so I gotta write them. I pray to him because I need his guidance. I see him early, I know I'll find him. Old man, I left him behind me. Sound the trumpet, don't keep the silence. Father, y'all, just keep reminding me. Yeah, all right. Yeah. All right. When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all of their troubles. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Word. We've all been crushed before, and it's times like this. We gotta look to the hills, which cometh our help. Yeah. Don't give up, give up, give up. Hear your cries, yeah. All right. Yeah. All right here first. All right. That ride right there. Let the kids work. Beat your feet, youngin'. Beat your feet, youngin'.
All right. That's what's up. So that's from Aki Malak Lorenzo Amatis, who's in the chat. He goes by the name of Shadow God on YouTube. And you can go ahead and check out his SoundCloud or his YouTube channel and get that good music. All right. Get that good music. So shout out to the brother. So shout out to Tandra Rudd in the building. Kwaku Danielle is in the building. Who else is out here? Brother Mob is out here as well. Shout out to Brother Mob. Let me see who else is in here. Shout out to Mami Rika. I think that's everybody. Shout out to Yahoo Kanan. Appreciate the donation, Aki. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate that. Shout out to Yeshua Libyan Nile. It's been a while since I hollered at that brother. Thank you for joining us in the chat. Shout out to King Jeffe in the building. All right. Shout out to Kevin G. My man Kevin G is in the building. All right. Yes, it's RBG Hebrews up. You know what it is, man. That red, black, and green. All right. So let's go ahead and get started, family. So let me go over a couple of things real quick with y'all. But before I do that, let me give a shout out to 2 businesses so we can get this show on the road. All right. So first and foremost, some of y'all may have seen my lecture this past Sabbath that I did. And I'm going to get into that a little later. But one thing that a lot of people was hitting me up about was, man, what's that bead necklace you had on? You know what I mean? And they were like, man, that's dope. That's fire, blah, blah. So I'm going to shout out to the person who crafted this up for me. All right. So y'all can see it. All right. These are the 10 commandments right here. All right. And these are the beads that it comes on. You can get this in 2 different sizes. This is the biggest size. You get it in the smaller size. As far as like the bead necklace, I don't know if this comes in different sizes or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and share the website. Now the sister, she had asked me, I seen her post it on her page, and a lot of you probably know the sister. I'll show you her thing right now. And hold on real quick. Man, y'all emailing me a lot. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to y'all. Okay, got you. I got you, young Ak. I got your email. All right. Got yours too, Georgia Power. And I responded to you, Joel. I responded to you past Georgia Power. So I responded to you via email. All right. All right. So the sister who's pretty popular, she does a lot of different accessories and stuff. She had made a post with this on it. And I think I seen another brother that I know who had this, but I wasn't really paying attention. Like, it didn't really catch my interest until she posted a promo for it. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's dope. So what the sister did was, I made a comment, whatever, and she said, can you share the post, what I mean, so people can know that this is what I do and this and that. And I said, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I said, you know why? Because I want to cop one first, and then after I get it, then I'll share your post. I said, you know what? I'll give you a shout out on my live stream, but I gotta get it first. I don't want a million people to get it first and they flaunting it and everything like that. I said, when I get it, then I'll let the family know. You know what I'm saying? So the sister, she hooked me up, man. She hooked me up with this. You know what I'm saying? To promo it. So, I know a lot of people saw my lecture and they seen this hanging down and they was like, man, what is that? But this is what it is. Y'all see? So y'all know I had this. Y'all see me with this on. Shout out to my brother Uzi Yahoo in the building, right? He know why. He know I'm shouting him out in regards to this. So I had this and I had this together because, we have to have our cultural, spiritual foundation. And then once this is laid, then we can put this on top of it. So that way we can take this and move it to where the lost sheep is scattered at and make things happen. You feel what I'm saying? So that's that. And as you can see, I have red, black, and green tassels. All right. So shout out to Life Out Loud Boutique and Accessories. All right. You can go on. Matter of fact, I'll bring that up too. That's for the tassels. All right. I'm gonna bring that up too as well, so y'all can see that. All right. All right. So first, let me show you the sister and where you guys can order this accessory at. I don't know what that was. What was that? Oh, that's probably the website. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Oh, matter of fact, I think oh, I gotta go back over this. Hold on, family. Hold on. Let me get this real quick. All right, let me go ahead and get this. Yeah, that's a nice picture right there. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. So the sister put this together. I had taken a picture with red, black, and green, and it's on my Facebook page or timeline. And I took this when after I did my lecture or whatnot. And as you can see, this is the 10 Commandments necklace, and as you can see, this is the red, black, and green and gold necklace. And I took it behind the red, black, and green fist up. And she added the Kwame Asherala, Rise Israel, and all that. I thought that was pretty neat. She did that and put it on her promo page and on her website. So let me go ahead and show y'all the website real quick. Okay. So you can go patronize this. And like I said, if y'all got any businesses, any products, goods, services, nonprofit organizations, anything that is geared towards our community and you need our community to patronize you, email me at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. Let me look through what you have to offer and I'll give you a shout out when I go live. All right. So this is the sister's page right here, custom designs by Sister Riri, right? And if you go to www.customdesignsbysisriri.com, you can go ahead and check out her various collections that she has here, exclusive deals. You can click on some of the images and stuff here. You can see some of the accessories that she makes here as well, a couple of things as well. All right. So this is the sister who made this necklace for me, for those of you who are interested. All right. So after this live stream is over, your host will, rewind back, pause it, and type in the URL for yourselves, and that way you can patronize the sister's business. All right. So that's that. So for the red, black, and green tassels, let me go ahead and show you this. Just had it out. What is that? Let me type it in again. Thought I had it up. Hold on, family. I want y'all to see the website. All right, here it is. All right. It's right here is Life Out Loud Accessories and Boutique. Y'all could definitely get the tassels there. You can get namesake bracelets. You can get earrings. Seamlessly Royal Designs is the Israelite section as well. Here's where you can get the zeets or the tassels from. All right, so definitely patronize Life Out Loud Boutique, and you can get some of those accessories as well. Okay, healthy competition is always good in our community. All right, and this is where I get all my garments from. All right, so in case y'all was wondering, this is where I get my garments from. Okay, so shout out to Life Out Loud Boutique and Accessories. All right. All right. Oh, okay. Cool. If anybody's interested in talits, anybody want to get their talits for Passover, if y'all keeping it, or if you already had your Passover unleavened bread, Shavuot's coming up, and then at the end of the year we're gonna have Sukkot. You can definitely get customized talits also from Life Out Loud Boutique. I'm gonna share that screen again real quick so you guys can see it, and then I want to give y'all one more business, and then I'm gonna transition out. All right. So here's some of the talits here. Okay. Life Out Loud Boutique. You can also follow Life Out Loud Boutique also on Instagram. There's another talit right here. All right. You can also get special embroidery on it as well. This one says Bat Zion. Okay. See that right there. So if you're interested in talits for any upcoming Chagim, you could definitely go to Life Out Loud Boutique and Accessories and cop you some talits. All right. So I got one more business, and then we're gonna move forward, chat about a couple of things. So let me go ahead and get this out. All right. Let me see who I'm missing. Shout out to Kevin G. Appreciate the donation, Aki. Definitely appreciate that. Let me see. Let's see who I shout out. Shout out to LC Ford in the building. JC on sale in the building as well. Yasar Yahawada. Let's see. Oh, Ebediah Israel. Glory be to the Most High forever. 89 plus 1 in the building. All right. I Haji as well. I Haji, are you talking about this kufi I got on? If you're referring to the kufi, let me know. You can get this also from Life Out Loud Boutique and Accessories, the website I just showed y'all. If you're interested in the kufi that I have on, you can get it in different colors too. It don't have to be just this color that I got on. I think I got everybody. If you want to shout out, hit 2. If you want to shout out, hit 2. All right, hit 2 if you want to shout out. Shout out to Brew Monster from Vegas in the building. Dale H in the building. Angel Marie in the building. KB in the building. Let me see. I think I got everybody. All right, family. Don't forget to share this link. I'm about to go in a second. All right. So Bernie Sat. Shout out to Bernie Sat, Dale H and KB. I shouted y'all out. Malak Lorenzo Amadis. I shouted you out as well. And also Shawnee also got her a prayer shawl as well, or talit as well. And she's definitely satisfied with this. So that's always good. That's always good to hear. All right. So I think I got everybody. All right. that you know I'm not dealing with the Messiah, quote unquote, LOL. I guess that was a joke. I didn't really get that. Help me out with that. Maybe you might be talking to somebody else in regards to that, but that's all good. All right. So, family, let me give you this last shout out, this last business shout out. All right. And then we're going to get started. All right. So, if you guys are looking for all natural health products, all right, health supplements, because you guys know that I do naturopathic health consultations, educational consultations. I have one coming up on Sunday that I'm going to do a special invite one, dealing with atopic dermatitis, eczema, psoriasis, but mostly dealing with eczema. It's a educational course that I give. Is a 2-hour session. You know, it's normally $100 for the consultation, but I'm giving it away for free. And if you guys want to sign up for the customized regimen afterwards, that's extra. But if you just want the educational seminar, 2-hour seminar on it, then that's what I afford and provide. I give you enough information so you understand what it is, how you got it, and what to do about it. You know what I'm saying? And the methodology in which I utilize in dealing with atopic dermatitis is something that, you know, is you'll see. I don't want to really spoil it too much. But anybody that wants to get in last minute to this free consultation, email me at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. Put in the subject line eczema, and I'll see if I can, if we have open slots. I think we might have about 5 more open slots for that free consultation. And I don't really give free consultation too often. Sometimes I may do a freebie here and there for promotion, or maybe to help somebody out who may not be able to afford it. But I know the lecture that I'm going to do, I'm going to put a lot of information out there. But for the lecture itself, it's probably going to be like $5 for you guys to actually rent the lecture, and then you can see all that information and everything like that. But I'm going to give the free consultation this Sunday. All right. So this Sunday evening, I'm going to give the free consultation. So those of you who are interested, definitely email me at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. But I want to give a shout out to this brother who has his own vitamin and supplement company or business. And I want you guys to patronize his business. Let me go ahead and show it to y'all so we can get started. All right. All right. This is Mr. Ease Remedies at www.mreemedies.com. All right. He has fat burners on here, muscle builders on here, vitamins and minerals, and other miscellaneous items as well. So you guys can go check out the website. There's a lot of great products on here. And if you want to patronize one of your own who actually does this stuff from scratch himself, visit MrEaseRemedies.com. All right, Mr. Ease Remedies. All right. So anybody that want to slim down for the summer or bulk up for the summer, you can do it here. And if you need your daily dose of vitamins and minerals, you can get it here as well. Remember, I always recommend you get, if you can, whole food, organic whole food supplements. Do not get anything with any kind of synthetic absorbic acid in it or some synthetic vitamin E and items like that, because your body cannot catalyze that properly. All right. So you definitely want to get the whole food ones because the body can recognize the biochemistry chain, and it can synthesize it properly with the appropriate amino acids. So you don't want to get anything that your body cannot recognize because it will treat it as if it's a foreign object that is there to cause harm, and the body will just pass it out. That's a lot of times when you ever took a multivitamin, and after you take it, you go to the bathroom and you urinate and it comes out like a rich yellow color or something like that. That's because one of various things happen. Either number one, that B is normally a vitamin B that causes that. That vitamin B2, B6, B12 is synthetic, and the body is just getting rid of it, right? Because there's so much excess, the body doesn't know what to do with it, and just gets rid of it. Or it's either an excess or synthetic. All right. When you get the whole foods, you typically don't see a lot of coloration in your urine, and that's a good sign. All right. That's definitely a good sign. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. And for those of you, and I'm taking a moment just to talk about health a little bit, just to intrigue y'all, if y'all want to get in on this lecture that I'm doing on atopic dermatitis, because I talk about wellness and health on that as well. I always include that in the lectures. What was the point I was just going to make? Man, I just forgot the point I was going to make. Those of you who push all the time, alkaline, alkaline, alkaline. Well, the best alkaline diet is 75% alkaline, 25% acidic. You never want to have 100% alkaline diet all the time. You never want to have or drink alkaline water that is so high with an alkaline diet, because you will get something called alkalosis. And if you don't know what alkalosis is, you can look it up. Alkalosis is pretty much a way in which you poison your blood, because what you're doing is you have a high bicarbonate base in your blood. Your blood is supposed to maintain a 7.3 pH at all times, right? 7.25, 7 to 7.45, 7.35 is typically the median range in which it tries to maintain it. And if your blood alkaline is much higher than that, then you're actually poisoning yourself. All right. So you have to learn how to balance that out. And when I do my lectures, I go in depth with that. I show you medical articles, scientific research articles. All of that is part of my lecture when I give these lectures on health. All right. So, people that think, oh, I could just get a 100% alkaline diet and my eczema go away. Your eczema is not going to go away with 100% alkaline diet. That's just not going to make eczema go away. It doesn't work that way, right? There's a lot of other factors involved that you have to take into account. You have to understand how the stratum corneum works, all right? You got to understand how the stratum glandulosum works, all right? You got to know things such as NMFs, natural moisturizing factors. You got to know what filaggrin is. You got to know what ceramides are. You got to know about all these different things, xerosis, and how to treat each and every one of these things. You got to know what lamellar bodies are. You got to know what LCs or Langerhans cells are. You have to know what type 1 hypersensitivity is. You got to understand how the T cells work in conjunction with the B cells. And remember, eczema, any type of atopic dermatitis, is an outside, inside, outside issue, which means the compromise first starts with the outer layer of the skin, which then triggers something to happen abnormally with the immune system. And the immune system then in return affects the skin by all of these various different cytokines that it sends out, and all of these processes that it causes to occur or activate at the site of injury. All right. So I go over all that in detail, show you slide after slide of scientific research, medical data, I explain everything to you, and I try to break everything down in layman's terms as much as I can within that 2-hour session. And I'm telling you, it's a jam-packed educational powerhouse, you know. So it took me years to get all that information and put it together. And I give, like I said, from time to time, I give these free consultations out, you know what I'm saying? And they're $100 for each educational session, but I give them out for free. I'm going to do it this Sunday. I'm going to give it out for free. It's a 2-hour session. It's probably going to be anywhere from 8 to 10 p.m. during that time slot. And I definitely want to, if you're interested, email me at kingdomharvard@gmail.com. I know a lot of people have been waiting for those free sessions. So I want to get as many people in there as possible, but I'm going to break a lot of things down for you that you're not hearing from our community, you know. And I tell people all the time, it's not to knock anybody who has their own little remedy in which they utilize to either help themselves or recommend to others. But the most important thing is, are they getting their research for the effectiveness for the applications of the items that they're recommending you from, you know, double-blinded placebo case studies? Because if they're not using that type of data and experimentation documentation to verify the effectiveness of what it is that they are suggesting to you, then it's a subjective remedy, you know. So more than likely it'll work for them, maybe somebody else, but they cannot show you the proof of why it works, right? How your body responds to it. You know, everybody has various degrees of severity in regards to eczema, and a lot of times eczema is intertwined with allergies and asthma because they work similarly as well. And they always mostly intertwine. So a lot of times if somebody has eczema, they'll typically have bad allergies, rhinitis, or something of that nature, or they'll have asthma. Me, I had all three. You know, I had asthma, allergies, and eczema. You know, as of today, I don't suffer from eczema anymore. I don't suffer from asthma anymore. And from time to time, I may have allergies affect me if the seasons swing, but it's not as common as it has been in the past. So I've done extensive research to take care of myself, make sure it worked on me. And once it worked on me, I went to go find the data that validates the application of the things that I utilize, why it helped me, and the issue with orthodox medicine in resolving these issues. All right. So I want to give a shout out to That Brother's Business because he's put a lot of work and effort into putting these products out. And you definitely want to go and patronize him. Okay. But like I said, the health lectures, that's coming up. We have a YouTube channel called Natural Path to Eden. We're going to go live this year. We're going to have a lot of content on there as well for those of you who are interested in health. And the coming out party is pretty much this atopic dermatitis lecture. All right. So I'm going to give the consultation, like I said, for free this Sunday. So y'all definitely join in. All right. All right. So let's move forward. Let's move forward. All right. So he says, how does one attend this? Kevin G, email me. Email me, Kevin G. All right. Let me put the email in there. All right. So shout out to Dale H for the donation. I appreciate that. Shout out to Jacob Paris in the building. Thank you so much for your donation. Shout out to Kevin G for the donation as well. Thank you, family. I appreciate it. So he asked, what's the topic tonight? It's Freestyle Friday. There's no set topics on Freestyle Friday. All right. We out here. Whatever comes up is what comes up, and we just deal with it. Right. So typically, I debrief on a couple of things, do the weekend review, and then I open it up for Q&A. And y'all be slamming me with all types of questions and stuff like that. And we just go in, you know. So if you're not familiar with Freestyle Friday, that's pretty much how it goes down. All right. Shout out to 89+1. All right. I'll go ahead and do that as well. Navia Yashara L. Does diet have anything to do with eczema? Yes, it does. But diet is not the only thing that affects eczema. All right. It doesn't. If you have eczema, you are predisposed for type 1 hypersensitivity because of the way that the T cells manufactures. Well, it doesn't do it itself, but it promotes the manufacture of a particular type of antibody that is irregular, and it causes a lot of issues. So when you learn, when I go into it for you guys, and I tell you what a Th1 cell is, a Th0 cell is, Th2 cell is, and which one should be operating at which times, and how to trigger one over the other, then you'll start to understand these things. Probiotics are very, very important, but there's a particular probiotic strain that I recommend for people who have eczema as well. Your gastrointestinal walls have to be on point, because if not, you can produce the wrong T cell, and that can aggravate your eczema. Okay, but like I said, I go over into all of this. I go into all of this when we do our health sessions. All right, but like I said, we got some slots. I put the email out, and y'all could definitely go into it. You know what I'm saying? So I try to put my all in what it is that I do for you guys, and I sacrifice hours and sleep and time or whatever, just researching endlessly to try and give it to you guys, so you guys can definitely use what you got to use for yourselves. All right. So the herb site is Mr. Ease Remedies. Mr. Ease Remedies. All right. That's the site. Okay. Distilled water, I wouldn't use distilled water, because distilled water, now anytime you see TDM, total dissolved minerals, TDM content in water, that's good. You typically see that in water that's alkaline, right? Because you need these minerals, trace minerals in there, in order to alkalize the water, as well as provide electrolytes to the water. But what happens is, when you drink these waters like Dasani and all these other type of Deer Park waters, what they do is that they remove these minerals from out of there, right? And they purify the water. Distilled water, if you drink it, in order for it to maintain its energy state, it's going to rob you of trace minerals. So I personally would not suggest anybody to drink distilled water. Distilled water is good for appliances, because it keeps rust down, all right? Because those trace minerals over time can cause rusting on appliances like irons and stuff like that. But I personally would not drink distilled water. I know I used to do it way back in the past when I didn't know any better. But stay away from distilled water. If you want to detox, you take activated charcoal or zeolite, Zeolite, or activated charcoal. All right. If you want to do a detox, get those two items, and they'll adsorb, not absorb, any kind of metals in your body or anything foreign in your body. Also, for those of you that have flatulence and other gastrointestinal tracts such as that, you can take activated charcoal as well. That'll help alleviate you from any gas issues you may have or anything of that nature too. But I would stay away from distilled water. I would not drink distilled water. I don't recommend anybody drinks distilled water. All right. The best alkaline water to get is not the ones that's been fortified, or they use purified water and they just add minerals to it. Get one from artesian springs or aqueducts, right? That's where you want to get it from. Okay. Like Fiji water is one of them. But there's a whole slew of them that you can get, but you really want to get it from a natural source. You don't want to get it from a source that has been fortified. All right. Shout out to Jeremy Harris in the building. Shout out to Yoel Ben Yisrael in the building. Shout out to Akir Aku Mokan. Said I stumbled into a Hebrew live chat. That's good. You know what I mean? So sit back, strap your seatbelts in, because you're about to go in for a bumpy ride. All right. We hope you enjoy it. All right. So when the ride is over, we'll let you know. You can unbuckle and you can go do your thing. All right. So KB's asking me to touch on the Apocrypha. All right. So save that for the Q&A, KB. And remind me when I get to it. All right. Angel Marie says, let's talk about Baal. All right. Okay. Let's get into virgin birth. All right, family. Hold on. Before we get to the Q&A, I got to debrief on some things first. I'm going to get there. I got you. I'm going to get there. All right. I just took a time out to deal with these questions. All right. Seborrheic dermatitis. Yes. So seborrheic dermatitis is similar to psoriasis, in which the stratum corneum, it flakes, but the cells die, but it doesn't flake off quick enough, right? So the body's producing additional cells, but it's not flaking off quick enough, and this is how you get dandruff and psoriasis patches and things of that nature. So the lecture that I give can also help with that as well. All right. So if you have those issues, like I used to have really bad dandruff, And right now, it's like little to none. It'll be there if it's like really dry and I'm not doing nothing to my scalp. But for the most part, it used to be really, really bad, and it's not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? Or it's little to non-existent. So again, all this stuff that I'm talking to you about is very, very important. You also got to learn about the sebaceous glands that produce the natural oils at the hair follicle that makes its way towards the surface. That right there is an antimicrobial. And the antimicrobials, you have antimicrobials in the oil itself that kills off any kind of colonizing bacteria. And staph is one of the common colonizing bacteria as well that typically can get into the leaky skin layers of the epidermis and cause all types of hazards. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. That's that. All right. All right. Cool. Mina Sykes, I'll probably do something on that later. I'll have to do like a whole PowerPoint on that so I can get that information together and probably share it. But that probably won't be anytime soon. Right now, I'm dealing with just eczema, asthma, and allergies. Right, we're dealing with those primarily, but we also branch out and help people with other ailments like cancer and hepatitis and HIV/AIDS. And diabetes and things of that nature. So we have regimens for all of those things as well. But my specialty is mostly dealing with atopic dermatitis, eczema, and allergies. All right. Yeah. I got you. Shout out to Yoel Ben Yisrael. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Again, that goes to our R&D, our research and development, or it goes to the community and the other works and initiatives that we have for KHM. So thank you for the donation. All right. So let's get started, family. Let me get started. All right. All right. So the first thing is Uriah Yah. Shout out to Rhonda Strong. Thank you so much for the donation, Rhonda. We appreciate that. The cast and lots. Yeraya Ben Yasha'el. Did you see the lecture that I did this past Sabbath? If you did, I give you an example on how to do it. So go back to that lecture and you can fast forward to the part where I talk about the cast and lots, and I give you an example on how you can actually set that up and do it for yourself. All right. Okay. Shout out to DJ Souped in the building. All right. Yes. Thank you, Mina. Make sure y'all hit the like button as well. And let's get this thing popping. Share this link. We're about to go in right now. All right, let me get through the weekend review points real quick because I know y'all giving me mad questions. I know y'all, every time y'all catch me live, y'all be like, yo, it's my opportunity to get Divine to answer this. I'm cool with that. But let me just get this off first real quick, all right? Shout out to D Red in the building. Houston in the building, all right? Shout out to Azazaya Ban Yahawada in the building, all right? So do you believe JC was born of a virgin? No, I don't. And if you're interested in that particular lecture, Shawnee, I got you. Just hold it for the end. And I'll take care of that. So just hold your question for the end, Shawnee. I'll take care of that. Okay. The virgin birth situation, I've done various videos on that. If somebody doesn't mind going back to KHM, Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, and putting those videos in the chat, to help the brother out. All right. Shout out to Trinity Nichols in the building. Just Looking is in the building. All right. All right. So, all right, family. So let's go ahead. So first and foremost, let's do a weekend review. So, I think it was about two weekends ago. 2 weekends ago. It's been a while. I didn't do a Freestyle Friday last weekend, right? But 2 weekends ago, on the Sabbath, I had to sit down with me and our brother Zion Lex. And let me go ahead and show y'all that video. I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to show you what it looks like so you can go back and check it out. So you can see it for yourselves. All right, it's this one right here. All right. So I may throw the video up on my channel and just cut out all the extra stuff towards the end. The dialogue is really like it was like an hour and 15 minutes. And I thought we would have way more time. Brother Zion Lexi even came with a PowerPoint presentation. You feel what I'm saying? He's trying to go in. I didn't even know it was that type of party. You know what I'm saying? So being that he thought that I was bringing the same thing, he realized I wasn't. He said, all right, I'll leave the PowerPoint for another time. I said, yeah, next time, trust me, I'll have a PowerPoint ready. It'll just be part of my presentation that I'm going to do in the future. You know what I'm saying? But we had a very great, amicable sit-down discussion. There was no ad hominems thrown, no disrespect, no talking over each other. Now, it was moderated by Brother Garfield, right? Shout out to Brother Garfield. And Brother Jabari was sitting there because we was in his house, and Sonetta was behind the camera. So y'all know what's going to happen with that type of environment. You feel what I'm saying? And then if you watch the actual video, you've seen that there was almost a fight at the end. Like it was almost like a real physical tussle fight at the end. And y'all can go back and check out the video. The video is on YouTube. All right. Y'all can definitely check it out for yourselves. But I want y'all to go back and check out that dialogue. There's another one that me and Zion has that's on my channel from the DCB channel that we actually debuted it on. And I took that and I put it on my channel. So you can go back and check that out. Our other discussion on henotheism and monotheism. But I definitely want y'all to check this out. Let me go ahead and show y'all the video so y'all can see it. In case y'all interested in it. I know some of y'all did peep that. All right, here's the video right here. All right, so this is me being asked questions. This is Garfield, right? Asking me questions and everything like that. Let me maybe I should unmute it. I'll turn the mic up.
Serve this one deity. Hence why I say monolatrism is coupled with the term henotheism, because otherwise people will think that, oh, so then we can worship all these other deities. The text never teaches that Yod He Wafe or El can ever be challenged for his throne, can ever be usurped, that he is always the creator. And we never see an instance where anybody tries to usurp his throne, as we see in comparative culture and Ugari. So a difference has to be made in regards to the literature.
So Divine, leave Divine with that. So Divine, are you saying that these other deities in the Bible, they are also powerful?
They have power, yeah. That's
so
why they
why
call
is it that why is it that we don't hear no Hebrews bigging them up and talking about their greatness and talking about their power? Well, I never heard.
Well,
hold on. Okay. I never heard Captain Tazariak talk about this. Hashar, Daniel Allah, they always talk about Yah. What they call him, the Yah?
Yeah, yeah.
They always talk about Yah. How come they suppress all the other deities?
Okay, so
is it because your God is a jealous God and he don't want to talk about the other
context.
deities?
No, that's
well,
not
just
that.
help me out. Help me out.
Just like a husband can be righteously jealous of his wife, right? I'm asking you a question. A husband can be righteously jealous of his wife. So if you're married, right? If your wife is over there flirting with other men, you're gonna be like, nah, you know what? She's good. I'm just gonna let her go flirt. Nah, you have a righteous means of protecting that which you have covenant with. So I'm not bigging up no other entity, because as an Israelite, I know that there's only one patron deity over my people. So why would I big up any other deity outside the deity in which my forefathers have a covenant with?
It ain't got nothing to do with the people. You saying
they don't. Those other deities have no jurisdiction over the children of Israel like they do other ethnic groups. Our patron deity is Yod He Wafe, so we're always going to magnify him, or even the word halal, make him bright, make him shine, make him wondrous above all other entities which we see in Tehillim or the Psalms. So I won't sit here and say, oh, Baal is great and he does all these other things. No. And I also won't say anything bad about Baal, because the text tells you, which means do not revile the Elohim, the other deities. This is why they should not proceed off the edge of your lips, because if you come out and revile these other deities, you could be in a form of condemnation. And we see an example of that in the book of Kings or Melachim. So I'm not out here speaking about these other gods in a sense where I'm saying, man, you know what? Maybe you guys didn't want to worship Baal or Asherah or something else. No, I'm just like when Israelites, let me give you an example. When Israelites read the Tanakh, when they get across to the point where it says Baal, do you think they say, well, let me not mention his name, let me skip over that and keep reading? No. If the writers or the authors were so superstitious, they would not have Baal in there. They would not have Asherah in there. They would not have Dagon in there. And you wouldn't hear anybody repeating their names if if saying their names is invoking their presence. No, there's a ritual on things you got to do in order to invoke these deities. As far as Yod Hey Wafe, we get those rituals based on what the Tanakh says on how we magnify him, that we can invoke his presence. So this is why you're not going to hear Israelites bigging up no Baal and Asherah, Shemites, because these are not covenant deities of our forefathers. We're speaking them only in an educational sense because they're mentioned in the text, and we want to ensure that our community understands where their place is and where our deity's place is.
All right, so that was part of the discussion that we had. If y'all want to see the rest of that discussion, y'all seeing the title, type it in, go check it out. So we had a great build, me and the brother Zion Lex, and shout out to that brother as well for keeping his poise, his discipline. He showed a lot of respect, and I have nothing but respect back for that brother. You know what I'm saying? It was a great build, so y'all go back and check it out. So I know a lot of y'all who did see it enjoyed it. You asked for more, so the next time we build on that subject matter, we both should have PowerPoint presentations, and we're gonna have a debate format, and that way we can do a friendly, you know, back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So when is that gonna happen? I don't know. We got to see what our schedules is like. Mine is pretty hectic now. Hopefully, it should slow down in June, but we'll see. You know. So I know a lot of people was like, man, why was Jabari there? I agree. Jabari just took the conversation somewhere else. Zion challenged him. They went back and forth. It got heated, and Zion got upset because he felt that, you know, the camera kept dying and the mic kept dying, and they told him to move his chair off the seat, and, you know, Jabari was interjecting. So he got very frustrated to the point where he said, I'm just going to leave. He felt Jabari was being disrespectful while he was trying to leave. And that's when he was talking, you know, in a particular manner to Jabari. And I just thought, like, I was just sitting there like, man, is this real? But when I saw Zion get real upset, then I got up. I'm like, come on, Zion, man, come on, let's just go. You know what I'm saying? Let's just walk outside. You know what I'm saying? But he called me, you know, that same day, and he apologized, you know, for getting angry. But he explained to me why. And I said, yeah, I feel you. I know exactly where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? And I think he made amends with Jabari as well. But it got real heated, man. It got real heated. So, like I said, those videos is out on YouTube. You could just type it up and look it up for yourselves. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, my thing is, me personally, I don't let them get under my skin. Y'all seen it. Y'all see, I've sat down with almost anybody you could think of in HOK. Sat down with Shaka, sat down with Polite, sat down with Garfield. I sat down with Saros Seti, Ankh, the whole Amin Ra squad by myself, mind you. Jabari, Ali Muhammad. I mean, you name them. You know what I'm saying? I've been through the ringer and interfacing with all of these personalities on HOK. You feel what I'm saying? I've stood my ground on numerous occasions by myself. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, this is nothing new to me. You know, so they're gonna say certain things, they're gonna do certain things, and you anticipate it. It's strategy. You know what I'm saying? You anticipate. It's chess. So I don't let it get the best of me because I already know they're trying to get under my skin purposely to throw me off my game so they can have the advantage. And I never allow them to get that. You know what I'm saying? So again, y'all could just type in my name and see my discourses with almost all of these personalities in HOK, and you know, held my own. You feel what I'm saying? So over time, you know, our brother Zion, I mean, he's done well in certain other dialogues. Sometimes he gets a little heated, but the brother is working on that, you know. And aside from that, he's a great scholar. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to my brother Zion Lex on that. So I just wanted to give a quick debriefing on that. I thought it was a great build. Y'all need to go back and watch it. I'm sure y'all enjoyed it as well. Our objective with doing those type of sit downs is being able to have opposing views, but enough mutual respect for each other that we can have a dialogue without disrespecting each other. You feel what I'm saying? So y'all go back and check that out. All right. All right. So moving on to the second point. So while I was in New York, that following Monday, I went to the United Nations. And the purpose of me going to the United Nations is to go to get intel on this International Decade for People of African Descent. I went there on a day that was observed for the International Decade for the Victims of Slavery and the Transatlantic Slave Trade. And every year they set a day aside around March 25th to observe and that is an international holiday that remembers the atrocities that was committed towards people who had ancestors that was afflicted by the transatlantic slave trade, or slavery, as it stands today. And this is part of the 10-year decade program for the International Decade for People of African Descent. And I've spoken on this numerous times in live streams. I've done lectures on this, and I've been there. Let me see. I've been there 2016. I was there in 2016 wasn't much. I was there 2018. I wasn't there 2017 because I was in Atlanta doing a lecture around that time about that in 2017. 2015, I went to the UN, but I wasn't there for the program when they first launched it in 2015 because I didn't even know about it at that time. I had no clue that it even existed. So this trip, I went to go get intel, and I have a video that I'm working to put together to show y'all that. Long story short, I heard the U.S. speak. I was actually there at the General Assembly. I had a special registered pass so I can go and sit down and actually listen into the General Assembly as they were convening. And I recorded the U.S., I recorded Ghana, and I recorded Brazil, and I recorded a few others, but I'm going to put Brazil, Ghana, and the U.S. because they said a lot of great points. The U.S., though, unfortunately, did not speak of any of the steps that they're taking to publicize this event, how they're going to implement it in the current, legal construct that we're here in America, how facilities are managing this program. They didn't give any details on any of that, right? They had a session where they were giving food, where Africans in the diaspora were at, and I went and got a whole plate of food. Those of you who follow me on Facebook, y'all saw the whole event because I recorded everything just about. And after we ate and drank or whatever, and people drank, I didn't drink any liquor, but people drank. They had rum and all types of other stuff there. Then they had the music aspect, which was great as well. But you can go and check it out, or you can just wait for me to put up the video on this YouTube channel. I had a great time there. I spoke to some diplomats. I got a little bit of information, but it wasn't as productive as I would have liked it to have been, because they were treating it like it was like a celebration or a holiday or something like that. They were not treating it as if, man, these are all the initiatives that we got that we're going to do. So I was a little disappointed that their mindset wasn't on initiatives. They was treating it like it was a celebration. I'm like, how you celebrate something like that? That's not a celebration. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you give a PR statement at the General Assembly, then you feed people, you give them drinks, you give them music, and you send them home. So I had a good time, but I was just disappointed to see that people were only there as if it was a festivity, you know, and they were not there because it was really, truly, you know, concerned with how this program is working worldwide and what are we doing to implement it in our respective member states. But I spoke to a couple of diplomats who shared some information with me in regards to it. So I'm going to try to put that in a future lecture and, you know, explain it to you guys. I have my autonomy lecture, Unity Through Autonomy, that lecture, where I actually have the template for that program and show you how the municipality can extract from that template and actually apply it practically in the community. You feel what I'm saying? So I go into all of that already. Going there, getting a little bit more details that I can add to that lecture helps profoundly. But my interest, if y'all don't already know, in regards to my proactivism, is creating Black municipalities, right? Speaking to people all across the U.S. and their respective towns, counties, communities, etc., and explaining to them the blueprint on how they can start their own community, right? Where the city council, the mayor, the fire department personnel, the police department personnel, public works personnel, everybody that runs the community or governs the community or operates the community, they live in the community, right? And if the community is represented by mostly people of color, then those are going to be the same people that represent you in the governance sense, as well as people that live in the same community as you. And that is how you change the game. That is how you become autonomous, all right? Where you are able to manage every facet of your reality, okay? And that is what I push in regards to proactivism, because that is the solution. Autonomy is a solution. So again, Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, we are hinged on 3 major tenets. The first is restoring culture. The second is establishing communities. And the third is implementing autonomy. And all of these things work hand in hand in regards to KHM. So the members know that. The people that follow this channel know that. And if y'all want to join, you can email kingdomharbinger@gmail.com, type in membership. Wait till we get to you. You know, we'll speak with you, we'll assess you, and we'll bring you on board. All right. But that's my trip to the UN. And, you know, I came out of my own pocket to go do it. And just was there so that way I can touch ground, you know, speak to people, see what the program is about in 2018, see what the theme was. And like I said, I got some footage coming up. Now, fortunately, I didn't have my whole production team there, which I was a little bit disappointed about. And mainly because it was a Monday and a lot of people had to work and they had, you know, other responsibilities. So a lot of people weren't able to show up. Okay. It was like just me and maybe 2-3 other people. So a lot of people weren't able to show up. And that's fine. Like I said, I live streamed a lot of it from my Facebook, and the other individual that was with me was recording some of it as well. So I'm gonna put that together and I'm gonna present it to y'all so you can kind of get an idea of what it is that I experienced when I was there. And next year, we're trying to plan a year in advance to let people know what it's about so they can take off this time next year, get their plane tickets, whatever the case may be, and meet us out there. You know what I'm saying? So we can make a difference. And I realized, speaking about things like that is not the most popular thing on my channel, but there's a remnant of people that actually care about alleviating societal ills and looking for blueprints or plans of action in order to do so. So as a think tank researcher, I'm here to provide that information and touch ground with the people and actually show them how to get it started. You know what I'm saying? But it was a great trip, you know, but like I said, I just realized that is just a festivity. You know what I'm saying? It's just a couple of PR statements to sound good, you know, give you food and drinks and entertainment and send you home. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, you know, but that's that, you know, but this program is a way for us to implement our own reparations. All right. If it's applied appropriately. And that's my objective for going to the UN, speaking to these diplomats. I even have a cousin that worked at the UN as well. You know, so the purpose of me making these contact is to bring the information back to you guys, to show you guys how to take over your community and what you can pressure the US to do based on their involvement in the international community's initiative to push this thing. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to Yalan Yisrael. Thank you for the donation, Ak. I appreciate it. Shout out to Talk Truth Rachoni. Thank you for the thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. D-Rev, you crazy. Y'all crazy, man. What are y'all talking about in here, man? Let me see if I missed anybody. I think I grabbed it. Shout out to Space Ghost Gaming in the building. Yes, I sure do. You already know. That's in the plans already. That in Ghana. We already got that in the plans, all right? I agree with you, Mr. Black Culture, as well. All right, family. So let me go ahead and move forward. So let's see. Oh, so this past Sabbath, I had a lecture. For those of you who are aware of it, it's pretty popular on my channel. So a lot of y'all should know about it. If you don't know about it, go back to this channel. Check out the video right before this one. It's called Unlocking the Time Capsule of the Israelite Profile Left in West Africa. The lecture itself is like maybe 2 hours and 25 minutes. But it's showing 2 hours and 40 minutes because other things is going on as well. But if you cut that out, it's really 2 hours and 25 minutes. It's about 66 slides. And the objective of that the lecture was not to be 100% historically, to provide 100% historical facts and deal with it from a historical perspective. It was mainly to do a comparative cultural analysis. And the purpose of that comparative cultural analysis is to explain the Israelites' migration into West Africa, their acculturation, the cultural diffusion and acculturation that took place, and the evidences for that. All right, and showing the similarities between ancient pre-Islamic Israel culture and Igbo culture. Also, I brought up the Sefwi peoples. I also brought up the Ga and Dangne peoples, right? And in that lecture, I addressed all of them. I gave sources and references. You can go back and check it out. That's actually a 120 slide presentation. I only showed 66 slides of that 120 slide presentation because it's just a huge lecture. It had more details in the 120 slide lecture, but I think the slides that I did show and what I did speak on was enough information to pique the interest so people can see the methodology that we should follow in order for us to validate not only the Israelite presence in West Africa, but also how the presence in West Africa is related to us here in the U.S. And the objective of it is an apologetic that was put out against the naysayers and people scrutinizing our community and saying, well, how you know you're Israelite and all of that. And that was a way to counter those arguments. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all haven't seen that lecture, definitely go check it out. You know, if y'all want to give feedback in the chat about it, definitely do that. I hope y'all, those of you who've seen it, hope y'all enjoyed it. You feel what I'm saying? I put a lot of work and effort into putting that together for y'all. You know, y'all can definitely comment on that. All right. I don't know what y'all talking about in the chat, but y'all can definitely comment on that. All right. I don't even know what y'all saying in here. What are y'all talking about in here? Do you subscribe to the 12 tribe chart? No, I do not subscribe to the 12 tribe chart. All right. What are you talking about? It's Georgie. What is a shalaka? What do you mean by shalaka? Explain that. Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the lecture. One of the other major points that I put in the lecture was about the northern tribes and how a lot of the oral traditions go back to the northern tribes, and how I showcased that Eldad Hadani, he acknowledged in sub-Saharan Africa the presence of northern tribes, Israelites, and explained the difference between them and the Algerian Jews, which would have been the Judeans in the north, right? And I kind of showcased that because the ancient pre-Islamic Israelite culture was carried by the northern tribes as they migrated into West Africa. And they went to other areas as well. I'm not just saying all of them went to Africa, but I'm focusing in on Africa because it relates to me and people here in the diaspora in America. So I explain and really go into detail dealing with that as well. All right. So, okay, well, that doesn't seem like a serious question. It's Georgie, so I mean, I'm just gonna leave that be. It is what it is. So Signs of the Times TV HQ says it was a great presentation, but what do you think most of the so-called Negroes as far as the tribe? So the so-called Negroes, it depends on who you consider Negroes. Are you just talking about the ones that were brought here to the Americas, or are you talking about all the so-called Black people that were brought from Africa, West Africa, over here to the Americas? All right. I kind of like touch on that in the lecture as well. So if you haven't seen the lecture, Sign of the Times TV HQ, I encourage you to go back and check it out, so that way you can see how I link that up. All right, because I think I pretty much put that information in there as well. All right. So Joseph Jones says, have you researched Yoruba tribe as well? Yes, I have. There's not really any Yoruba oral traditions that connect them with Israelites, but we see evidence of cultural diffusion amongst the Yoruba peoples. One example of that is the Levite marriage. The Levite marriage is a practice that's done amongst the Igbo peoples And we see it also with the Yoruba peoples. And the Yoruba peoples received it by way of cultural diffusion. But you got to remember, the way the Yoruba tribe and the Igbo tribes were prior to colonialism was much different. You know, a lot of people got mixed up and swapped here and there and resettled, and a lot of stuff happened. And I even explained that in that lecture. I tell you about the conference of 1884, 1885 by the Europeans to divvy up Africa. You feel what I'm saying? But being that a lot of them don't claim an oral tradition back to Israel, we still do see evidence of cultural diffusion. So those of you who are not familiar with the Levirate marriage is if a man is married to a woman and that man's brother lives with him, right? And that's the key thing. The man's brother lives with him. And that man who's married to that woman, he dies and he doesn't have a son. Then that brother has to take his brother's wife as his own and bear a son on his behalf, so his brother's lineage can continue on, his name can continue on. All right. So we see that amongst the Igbo, we see that amongst the Yoruba, and this is something that's a practice amongst them. Now there's a great push to outlaw those practices, you know, as a civil rights violation, a human rights violation. But I share some of that information in the lecture as well. All right. So that's that. All right. So it's a lot of stuff, you know, here. Malak said, do you know if the God dominating peoples accept Yahusha? Not in mass. You got to realize most of the peoples in Ghana and most of the peoples in Nigeria are Christians. The Hausa in Nigeria most of them are mostly is Islamic or Muslim, but most of them in Nigeria, the individuals in Nigeria, they're Christians. Then you have some that still practice Judaism, and you have some that practice traditional African religion, or so-called traditional African religion. And it's a big mess, right? That's why what I presented to you guys in the lecture helps to, you know, figure out, sift through that all of that stuff that's going on there and actually reconstruct the Israelite identity amongst those people that have been lost over time. I didn't get into the conquest of Islam in the region. I didn't get into all the historical accounts that speak about the Jews that are there. I gave references to it. You can go back and buy those books and check it out for yourself. But remember, that lecture wasn't supposed to give you all those details. I cut those portions out. And I was just trying to mostly hone in on the comparative cultural analysis between ancient periods of Israel and other, you know, those West African tribes that I named for you, the Gadang peoples, the Igbo peoples, and the Sefwi peoples. All right. So that's that. Exactly. I agree, Kevin G. I agree. All right. So let me move on to the last point. And then we can get into the Q&A real quick. A lot of people are upset about the Lucifer situation, man. A lot of y'all are mad about the Lucifer. Why y'all mad about Lucifer? A lot of y'all are trying to save Lucifer. What I'm gonna do is I have, in case y'all are interested in buying shirts, right? I have a shirt that says hashtag death to dogma, and it has the KHM logo on the back, and it gives you the YouTube and everything like that. But I'm gonna make a shirt that says hashtag I want to save Lucifer, right? Or Lucifer come save me. I'm gonna make these t-shirts because y'all are jumping out the window for Lucifer, right? Y'all trying to save Lucifer at all costs, man. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a real ugly, messy situation that y'all trying to save Lucifer. Somebody tell me, why y'all trying to save Lucifer? Please tell me. Why do you want him to be real? Right? Y'all want him to be real. Why? It's not in the Hebrew text. I demonstrated that. I'm not saying that there's no spiritual adversaries out there. I'm not saying that a Satan doesn't exist. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is it's not Lucifer. Lucifer does not exist. That story that you have about Lucifer, I'm going to give you all the documentation on it so y'all can see how that egregore was created. Y'all are making him real. Y'all are making him into an ethereal entity. Not me. Y'all are putting energy into that. Look what an egregore is. That's what y'all are doing. It's not all of y'all. I'm not throwing, I'm not throwing everybody in the bus, but I'm throwing y'all in the bus, the ones that want to save Lucifer. All right. Y'all really want him to be in the text. And it's y'all, some of y'all are so dogmatic. It's like, man, I've been taught this all my life. You tell me Lucifer's not real. What are you talking about? It's like y'all have a heart attack. Y'all have a stroke or something over Lucifer. So I don't want anybody to get sick. I don't want nobody to have no strokes over Lucifer, any heart attacks, all right? If you want to believe that Lucifer exists, that's on you. No problem. But I'm here to tell you the truth. In the Hebrew text, he's just not there. And if somebody in this chat or anybody watching this video, you want to prove to me from the Hebrew text that Lucifer is an ontological being that is referenced in Isaiah chapter 14, and you can do so via the context, we can get into it. You want to do so via the language of the text, however you want to do it, you definitely can have a sit-down discussion with me, and you can try and prove to me that Lucifer is real. People say, but the Illuminati believes in him. There's a lot of things the Illuminati believe in. Does it make it real? No, they want you to believe it. And a lot of them are self-delusional. There are concepts in which they create or they fabricate that they embody because it helps with their agenda. And it only works if you believe these things. So once you see that Lucifer doesn't even exist, this thing of Luciferian doctrine, this Luciferian doctrine, the one that says, you got to look at the garden situation, the garden dialogue in Bereshit chapter 3, the Luciferian doctrine. And I taught this when I was a Christian, right? Luciferian doctrine is you could become as a god. Did God really say to you, are you really following God's commands? Nah, he's trying to keep you captive. You can be a god. Go for the flesh, the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. You can become your own god. And this is what these elitist Illuminati people do, because they get illuminated to a state where they believe that they are God themselves, right? In an unrighteous state. But that concept, Lucifer, is something that came from out of the Latin Vulgate manuscripts that was then pushed by Gregory the Great and Tertullian. And then in the Middle Ages, the medieval period, it was picked up by the ecumenical church or the Roman Catholic Church. And they use this as an antagonist to Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, and they use it as a means to scare people into indulgences and doing penance and all this other stuff. Lucifer was the big bad boogeyman. You understand, family? I'm gonna bring that information out. But people want to save Lucifer. So if y'all want to jump in the way of a bus or a train and push Lucifer out the way, if you want to jump and take a bullet for Lucifer, right? You want to fight your brother or sister tooth and nail because you want Lucifer to be real, then be my guest. I'll let every man be convinced in his own mind. All I'm telling you is in a Hebrew text, he does not exist. Don't get mad at the messenger. I'm just telling you what the text says. He does not exist. It's okay. I'm going to create Lucifer Anonymous shirts too. Hashtag Lucifer Anonymous. Because some of y'all really got to vent about this thing. You understand what I'm saying? Some of you really got to put it out there on the table and say, man, all my life I had to fight against Lucifer. And he was the boogeyman that was under my bed. And he was the boogeyman that was in my closet. And I believed this thing to be real all my life. And you got to cry a little bit, sob a little bit, get patted on the back. I mean, it's okay. If y'all want a Lucifer Anonymous, y'all let me know. I mean, we may set one up so you can come out and vent and do what you got to do. But I'm telling you right now, family, he is not real. It's a figment of your imagination. Matter of fact, let me show y'all something. I want to show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Hold on. I want to show you something, right? I want to show you something. Let me get it real quick. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh man, I can't find it. Can't find it. I'm gonna get it for y'all. Try to get it for y'all next session. I'm gonna try to get it for y'all next session. Is this it? Nah. Don't worry about it, family. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up next session. Let me not waste time on that. Trying to look for something, bring something up, but it's all good. So the question is there a devil? Yes. A devil, if you saying that devil, if you equate devil to a adversary or Satan that is spiritual, then I agree with that. You know, that I don't disagree with that. All I'm saying is it's not Lucifer. So I'm not saying no spiritual adversary against Israel doesn't exist. There's several of them, but I'm saying that none of them is Lucifer. That's all I'm saying. None of them is Lucifer. The story about Lucifer being in heaven and being the most beautiful angel and him leading worship in heaven and him opening up his wings, and you see all of these stones and everything in him, and he's ushering in this huge choir to sing praises to the Most High. And then he saw himself as being beautiful and that he could be his own God, and he wound up rebelling in heaven and getting kicked out. Who created this story and tied it to a Lucifer? Where did that come from? When you, even if you read Isaiah 14, it doesn't say all of that. It doesn't say all of that. It doesn't say all of that. So, you know, people, you know, pick things up and threw things together. I'm telling y'all, I should do a whole lecture on this. And I think I might, because a lot of y'all are a little bit spooked out over it. And it's okay. I'm not trying to make fun of y'all or anything like that. I know some people may hear it for the first time and feel kind of crazy when they hear that. You know what I'm saying? But it's the truth. You know, it's the truth. You know, the Hebrew word is Hillel. And I tell you all the time, if Lucifer is from the Hebrew text, typically what you get with, where's my board? Let me see if I can show y'all what I'm talking about. So now I got to go into the Hebrew with y'all. Right? Let me get. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all something real quick. Man, I hate my meds be looking crazy, man. All right. So let me go ahead and show this with y'all. So I'm going to explain something to you. It's very simple. I'm not going to get too deep. All right. Let's go to. I'm gonna show y'all something. It's like I said, it's not gonna be too deep. It's y'all could, I know y'all could get this. So let me okay, let me show y'all what I'm talking about. All right. So okay. So just so y'all can see, and make sure y'all can see this. All right. So you see my board? See it, right? So there's something called transliteration. Okay. So transliteration is you look at a letter from one language and you find the corresponding letter in another language. Okay. And you try to look for the corresponding letter that has a similar phoneme or sound that this letter in this other language has. All right. Now, let's say this word Lucifer that y'all talking about, which is nowhere in the Hebrew text. It doesn't exist, right? So let's say this word right here is Hillel, right? And if we was looking at Hillel and somebody said that this word in Isaiah chapter 14, when we come across it in Isaiah chapter 14, that word means Lucifer. I'm going to say when it comes to names in Hebrew, even when you read the English Bible, a process called transliteration occurs, which means you try to retain the same essence. No, well, not essence, really. Well, yeah, essence. I'll say essence. But you're trying to retain the closest sounding or way to phonetically convey that same word in one language to a different language. Okay, it's not a translation, it's transliteration. So you can retain the phonetic value of that name. And this typically will be fine. For example, like Michael, Raphael, Ezekiel, Isaiah. I mean, so you see this when you have proper names. When you get to this word in Hebrew, right? When you read in Isaiah 14, there's no transliteration there because it is not a proper name. In Hebrew, you have what's called the cow stem, which is the basic simple active voice or simple action. Okay, the most basic verb you can get is the cow stem. All right, and the cow stem for this word Hillel is halal, and you've heard of halal food before and everything when you go to get food from the Arab spot or whatever the case may be, right? Halal means to brighten, to shine. Okay. When you want to take that cow stem word and make it into a proper noun, make it into a noun or a verbal noun, because most Hebrew nouns, or even names are verbal nouns, right? Or nouns are pretty much verbal nouns. When you change that and you put the zere under the first consonant, zere under the second consonant, you get Hillel. What you're doing is you're turning that into a noun that's he who shines or a shining one. Okay. Also, when we read this, there is no definite article prefix like the shining one. It's really shining one or he who shines. It is not a proper name in Hebrew. You can, if you look through the morphology of how the thing looks, the syntax and how it interacts with other words in the sentence and the orthography about how it's spelled, you can see that this is, even phonetically on how you pronounce it, you can see that this is not a proper noun. So this did not come from the Hebrew. It's very simple. I've shared this in a video in which I did this in, and y'all can see it on my YouTube channel, but I'm gonna move past this. Like I said, I'm gonna make some Lucifer Anonymous shirts for y'all, or I want to save Lucifer, or Lucifer does exist in my mind. I want to make some shirts for y'all. For those of you who want to save Lucifer, all right. So this is very, very important, all right. So to Sankofa, shout out to Freddie Jackson in the building, Bakar Yahuda in the building, Freddie Jackson. Sankofa Divine says, until we solve our financial problems, we will never solve our political and social problems. And to Sankofa, I have several videos on my channel where I deal with the financial problem and what we can do to fix it collectively together. So that blueprint is on my channel, so you can check it out. All right. Exactly. So Mr. Casanova says, a lot of people take the fact that I'm saying that there's no Lucifer means that there's no adversaries. And that's not what I'm saying. So you're correct. I'm not saying that. You ask who is the adversary or who are the spiritual adversaries. It depends. on the context of what it is we're reading. It could be Azazel, it could be Belial, it could be Dagon, it could be Baal, it could be Asherah, it could be Anat, it could be Nahar, it could be Mut, it could be Yam, it could be Shamesh or Shemesh, it could be, I mean, there's a whole host of entities in which it could be. It just depends on the context, right? It depends on the context. Anytime, Sanko for Divine, anytime. But go back and check out my lecture. I have a lecture called Economic Subversion to Autonomous Conversion, and I deal with it there. And I have another lecture where I talk about autonomy or how to apply proactivism in the Black community, real Black power. And if you go back to that, I also talk about the financial situation and how we can fix that. All right. Yeah, so Venus is also tied to Lucifer, and it's either Sirius or Venus, depending upon where you're at in the world, what you're looking at in the sky. And it's the son of the dawn. It's the one of the other brightest sky lights in the sky that proceeds before the sun, because in ancient times, the king would send the prince as a diplomat, to go before him to a city, a town, or whatever the case may be, to represent him before the king and his entourage actually arrives. So the morning star is the harbinger for the sun, right? It brings the sun in, okay? And we see it at certain times of the year. And the king wanted to be that, he wanted to be that morning star, right? He wanted to be the shining one, right? And that's why when we read the rest of it, we can see the pompous nature of the king, in which he wanted to be so great that he wanted to be greater than any of the deities of the peoples in which he conquered. Okay, so I'm gonna move off of that. All right, this is not about the Lucifer thing. That was just getting to me because a lot of people are talking about that. A lot of people are feeling some kind of way about that. A lot of people are misconstruing what it is that I'm saying, and I'm being very clear. I said Lucifer doesn't exist in the Hebrew text, and we know that the Latin Vulgate gets its translation from the Septuagint, which gets its translation from a Hebrew text. And we know we can use the Dead Sea Scrolls to compare and contrast with both the Septuagint, the Latin Vulgate, and the Masoretic text. All right. And the common consensus is we see the development of this term. It shows up, guess where? In the Latin Vulgate. It comes from the root word lux, and in the genitive of lux is lucis, and then that develops into a proper name, which is Lucifer, that we see in other manuscripts of the Latin Vulgate. So it's a development that occurs with the Western text type. All right. And again, when you study this and see where it comes from and why Lucifer was so important to be an actualized entity, then you'll understand what the agenda is. I'm just trying to give y'all the facts. Okay. According to your logic, God doesn't exist in Hebrew either. The word God doesn't exist in Hebrew. So I agree. It doesn't. So if you want to speak about something equivalent to that word or holds a similar denotative value, it would be Elohah, it would be El, it would be Elohim. These things denote powers or entities with powers. Okay. So God is not in Hebrew. I agree. I don't even like using that word much, but I use it because people can colloquially identify with it. But I don't like using that word God. Okay. So I agree with you on there. There's no argument. So I agree with you. No problem. All right. So let me make sure that's everything off my list, so then I can just take these random questions y'all are asking me. So just give me 1 second. I think I covered everything. The last thing is, and then I'll get to the question and answer for another 15 minutes, and then I'm out of here. All right. Okay. Gotcha. 89 plus 1. All right. So when I put a post up on my Facebook page, and those of you who are not following me on Facebook, y'all need to check me out on Facebook. It really goes down on Facebook. Like, I be turning up sometimes on Facebook, and people be trying to turn up on me sometimes on Facebook. It's really interesting environment. Okay. It's a little bit different than the YouTube. YouTube is a little bit more safer than Facebook. Right. But I made a post up about somebody, again, who was just who just, you know, took the Lucifer thing personal and misunderstood everything I was saying, made a post, and then somebody jumped on the post, and I'm not going to say the sister's name, and she was speaking about issues that she had with leaders in the Black community, right? I guess she perceived me as a leader in the Black community, and she was highly critical and scrutinized everything because she said that she was disappointed by Umar and Polite. And because she was disappointed by Umar and Polite, she doesn't trust any Black leaders. And at the end of the day, she only cares about herself, right? So, you know, we're going back and forth, and she's asking me, show me this, show me that. If you're doing this, show me this. If you're doing, show it. And so I showed her. I showed her that I have a debt elimination program, and I showed her people that I've assisted with it. I showed her that I have a naturopathic health consultation program and the people that I've assisted with it. I showed her the Grief Haven Initiative, which I'm on the committee for, which is a group that's trying to incorporate their community into a municipality so they can take the power back into their own hands. And I'm on a committee for that actively. We're doing things in the community. We're not just talking. I've been to several so-called protests and rallies and marches and everything, and I've laid down a blueprint, and I've helped people implement it. So I'm not, this is not no Polite or no Umar Johnson, and no shade. I'm not gonna throw any shade at those brothers. All I'm saying is we operate on behalf of the Most High. At the end of the day, I'm not obligated to just myself. I'm obligated to a power that's greater than me. That's the difference. Okay? That's the dividing factor right there. So at the end of the day, I got to answer to the Most High. And I got to answer for all the actions that I've done and all the things that I've done to, with, and in the community. I'm obligated to do that. So much so that I get overwhelmed a lot, and I don't even want any position of a leader, a teacher, anything. I never asked for this. And I still don't ask for this. It's a heavy burden that comes along with this. I don't ask for it. I was chosen to do it. And I'm being whooped into accepting that fate each and every day. It's a struggle, but I get past it because I see how it's positively impacting our community. So understanding the sister's frustration, I tried to satisfy a lot of things she was saying, but she was still being negative. And I say, hey, look, what's the point of me even sharing with you the things that I'm doing in the community if you don't care at the end of the day? You're not getting involved in anything. You only care about yourself. So you're complaining about the players, but you're in the bleachers. So how does that work? You're not trying to get into the game. You're not even trying to help the team. You're just complaining from the bleachers. That's not going to be productive. And the reason why these leaders can't get to where they need to go because they just have people that are complaining from the bleachers. Show them a better example. If you say Umar and Polite are doing the wrong thing, you show a better example. Don't complain. Who wants to hear you complain? Anybody could do that. Show a better example. One thing that I promised myself, and I'll share it with y'all. When I came into this community, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to do right by these people as best as I can. I'm only one person. You know, I thank y'all that I have a small team, but I'm only one person. I've had trust issues in the past that I've worked on. I'm doing much better now in regards to them. But I said, you know what? I never want to do the people wrong because before I got involved in the community, I went to several lectures and spoke to some of these people that I actually sat down with. I seen how they move. I see how they operate. And again, I'm not going to name no names. I'm not going to disrespect anybody. But what I'm saying is I could tell why people like her feel the way that she does. You feel what I'm saying? Because she doesn't see any tangible results behind what it is that they're teaching. What did I tell you guys all the time? I said, listen, if the information you have does not transform your character and or resolve any of the societal ills that you have, then what good is it? Why are you even doing it? Why are you wasting your time? Don't waste your time and don't do it. Find something else to do. So I said, you know what? I got to make this thing practical. I got to create services. I got to get involved in community so that way people can see that the things that I'm speaking about, I'm actually doing my best to live it out. I'm not just sitting here, you know what I'm saying, in the comfort of my home speaking to you guys. I'm out there in the field, put it in work. You understand what I'm saying? And I put the call out all the time for y'all to join me if y'all are available to do that. Some of y'all can't make it to help me. Some of y'all donate. Some of y'all support. Some of y'all share. Some of y'all pray for me. And it makes things move forward. You understand what I'm saying? But I never believe in just filling your head up with information and telling you got to be spiritual and all of that, but you have all these other issues that you're wrestling with from day to day. God forbid, if I'm ever in a situation, I know because I've served y'all that y'all will help me. And I know for certain if anything ever happens to Divine Prospect, each and every one of y'all that's in this chat, I can call on y'all and y'all will look out for me. You know why? Because if anything was going on with y'all and I'm available, I'm going to look out for y'all. And I've done that. And so many people in this chat can attest to that. You feel what I'm saying? So it has to be one hand washing the other, both hands wash their face together. That's how we have to move. That's how we have to operate. We must be each other's keeper. We have to be. So hey, you can complain to me all you want. The next question I'm going to ask is, what are you doing about it? And if I see that you're not doing anything about it, then, I mean, who are you to critique everybody else? I mean, even if you're not the one on the front line doing it, are you supporting a cause or an organization that's actually doing something for the community? That's very important. So it really hurt my heart to see the sister have that position when she was very, very angry and very bitter. And she was just very critical and skeptical of anybody who other people call a black leader. And I never say that I'm a big black leader. I never say that. People put me as a leader. The Most High has positioned me to lead people, and I lead them by example, right? And the example is what I put out for them to follow. I put out the model for them to follow. I'm imperfect, but the model can be perfect. And Yah has given us that construct, and I try to give it back to the community, right? But in order for us to work towards perfection, we have to work together. I have to be strong when you're weak at. You have to be strong while I'm weak at. And that's how it works. That's how we cover each other. The scripture said love covers a multitude of straying away. So the only way you can retain somebody from going too far is to exude love towards them, right? And the essence or the sense of that love spiritually will draw their soul back to where they need to go. And we must keep this in mind. You feel what I'm saying? So like I said, man, you know, I realize that, you know, a lot of people want to justify their complacency, right? They want to justify their complacency and they project guilt on others because they're incapable of performing what they want to see. They rather point the finger at other people to disconnect themselves or absolve themselves of the obligation and responsibility to be active and to do something. So I tell people all the time when I counsel them, I have no problem if you want to complain to me, vent to me. But after that's done, we're going to move to the plans of action. Okay, now that this is done and it's been expressed, how are we going to move forward? How are we going to resolve this issue? You know, I do contract work for a living, right? I'm a help desk analyst. My job is to analyze issues, right? Triage them and find a solution. Okay, that's what I do for a living, right? On top of the other things that I do on the side, the other programs that I do on the side, everything like that, and the organization that I lead. But that's what I do. And I've been doing this line of work for, man, how long have I been doing this line of work? About 13, 14 years. You know, I have a business on the side with computers and everything like that as well. So I've been triaging issues and analyzing issues for years. So I say to people all the time, do not count everything in your past as dung, okay? And if you do count it as dung, count that dung as fertilizer for future successes. Because the dung is a reminder of an action that took place previously. That now, once the process is over, it has left something behind that is undesirable, right? But naturally, that dung will take its order in the whole entire ecosystem of how this world operates. It becomes a fertilizer. And those who are farmers understand that when they see dung, they don't see it as most people will see it as abominable. They see it as something that is actually valuable in order to bring life. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is there are things that you have done in the past. There's things that you're doing in your secular life Do not dismiss it, because the reason why you've had that experience, the reason why you're in those secular areas is to train you up for this mission for the kingdom going forward. Never lose sight of that. Never lose sight of it. I tell you all the time, most issues can be resolved via perspective. How do you perceive what is going on? How do you perceive it? Because your perception is going to dictate your outlook. And your outlook is going to dictate the direction in which your destiny leads. That's very important. So I'm trying to share this information with y'all just so you can kind of like get encouraged and understand where I'm at. And people who get discouraged, I want to give y'all a message of hope as much as I possibly can. And one thing that some people have said that they like about my channel, or Kingdom Harbinger Ministries channel, is that I pepper it with, you know, lectures on encouragement, edification, empowerment, and stuff like that. And I have to do that. You know, getting all of this deep knowledge is great, but if at the end of the day you don't have a spiritual means of being edified, then what good is it? What am I really talking to? Am I talking to your ego? Am I talking to your soul, your spirit, your mind, your heart, your body, your flesh? What is it when you hear me speak? What does it awaken in you? And if it's awakening the wrong thing, I need you to hold me accountable so I can speak to the right thing in you. That's what I'm here to do. And that's the obligation we have to each other. What are you activating into the mind, heart, body, soul, and spirit of somebody else? When you speak to somebody and they're in your presence, what part of them is awakened? What part of them is activated? What part of them is being fed, is being nourished, is being cultivated? Think about that. That's important. That's important. All right. So anyway, that was my little, that's me diverging a little bit, sharing a little bit of information with y'all. So I'm done with my debriefing points. All right. And I give all honor, glory, praise to the Most High Yah. And I thank y'all as well for allowing me to serve you. So I'm going to, you know, grab a couple of questions from y'all, and then I'm going to move forward. Okay. All right. So if y'all got any questions now's the time to ask them. You got about 15 minutes or so to ask these questions before I get off the line and get ready to go to Shabbat tomorrow. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for building in the chat. No, I'm not going to open up the line now because my household was asleep. And that's interesting because I may not have this line anymore after the end of this month. So the next session, I'm going to probably open the line up until when I relocate, I'll have a permanent number for you guys to call in, right? Because I know a lot of people ask for that, and I know that's important. So we'll definitely deal with that. All right. No problem, Shawnee. So again, like I said, now's a quick Q&A. So let me see what y'all saying. Did Yahusha become a divine deity after death? Can a man die for someone else's sins? Okay. So I'm gonna give you a short answer. And if you want the long answer, I have a lecture that deals with that. A lot of questions that some people ask, I could tell either they're new to the channel or they have not really watched a lot of content on the channel. So they're unsure of what it is that I teach and whatever that's shared. And that's okay. You know, I'm here to point you in the right direction, give you a video that'll give you more details on it that I may not be able to give in the short amount of time that I'm live. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the video so you can go and check out for yourself my perspective on that. All right. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat. Freddie Jackson, that's an excellent question. That's why I said you need a spiritual foundation for anything to be realized, anything to be actualized, and anything to be implemented. Right. So you need a spiritual system that has to be at the root and foundation of what drives you, because you need an obligation to something greater than just yourself. You have to be obligated to your creator and to the people. And then from there, all the other systems can come in and take place. Okay. But the good thing about our spiritual system being an Israelite, it's laid out as a theocracy. Okay. Where the law of what rules, guides, and motivate us is from the Creator himself in order to build a nation. That's what it's for, the governance of people by way of the patron deity. Okay. So that's important. So Van Coates says, talking about a consultation, Van Coates, email me at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. So shoot me an email and we can chat about that. All right. Will there ever be a Hebrew Israelite collective council? Not sure what you mean on that, Mr. Black Culture. Give me some more details on that. So Sam Bone says, as Hebrews, how do we address the Most High? What is his proper name? There's various vocalizations of the name of the Most High. Some people says Yehovah. Some people say Yahweh. Some people say Yahweh. Some people say Yahuwah. Some people say Ahaya. And what I tell people is I go to Tehillim 68:4, which makes it very clear. If you go to Psalm 68:4, that's the common denominator, and it tells you right there. You know, it says Siru Lehim Zemeru Zemoh Zolu Larokeb Ba'arak, Ba'arab Bot Beye Semos We'ilzu Lepanau. Okay, sing unto Yah to his name, and it tells you Beyah and to Yah, who rise in the heavens to Yah. It's clear. Yah is the common denominator, and that is common in each one of those vocalization systems that I just mentioned to you. So the actual full reconstruction of the name as it was spoken by the ancients will be revealed to us when we're all taken up, okay? When the Most High resituates us back into the land. But in the interim, the safest bet, the common denominator is Yah. Is Yah. So that's the closest you're going to get to unification with all the other vocalizations that's justified in these scriptures. All right. So that's my answer to that. So let me keep moving forward. So how does the Baal image relate to Black Power? You got to give me more details on that, Angel, so I can address that for you. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder where you got that from. Did you get that? Did you get that from the PowerPoint presentation I had dealing with romanticism and Kemet? Let me know if that's the case. All right. All right. So Mr. Black Culture, yes. There's several Israelite movements and organizations that I do work with in regards to that. So yes, we are working on a collaborative effort in order to improve the economics in our community. Each of us can do our part. You know, for me and my organization, I've laid out the blueprint on my YouTube channel so you guys can see what it is that we're doing and what is it that we're encouraging everybody else to do as well. All right. All right. So that's that. All right. So Mr. Casanova says, in most prayers we are taught, I think you mean taught to say, in Jesus' name we pray. Is that not accurate? Okay. I went over this before, Mr. Casanova, but I'm gonna share it again with you. No problem. Share it again with you. So you're not supposed to end no prayer. I mean, in Jesus' name. I mean, the people use scriptures like, whatsoever you do in word and deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, right? That's what people say. Do in the name of, right? That means do in the power of the name, whoever Lord Jesus Christ is. I'm going to explain to you my position on that, right? When I pray, all my prayers are directed towards Yah. All my prayers are directed towards Yah. All my prayers are directed towards Yah. The only time that Yahusha, who's a deified ancestor that's working in the heavenly court as the high priest after the order of Melchizedek, the only time that he's invoked when I pray is a matter that deals with a form of authority or a form of atonement, a form of atonement. And I've shared this in lectures in the past. I mean, lecture, I think I did a live stream on this in the past. And for peculiar situations, like for example, I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. If there is a situation in which, let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of, I think I still have the picture of me drawing this out. Maybe I should share that for you. Exactly. Just looking is correct. That's exactly what it is. Yes, that's correct. So looking at authority and atonement in a matter that deals with a degree that has to do with something that deals with autonomy. So if people are part of the Melchizedek order, in which now Yahusha has assumed the role of the chief priest, or the Ha-Gadol, the great Kohen, the great priest, or the high priest of the order of Melchizedek. Those of us who are part of that order, when it comes to a situation that deals with a violation in regards to after a sin is committed, the repentance is directed towards the Most High Yah. The role of the priest is to perform the rest of the action to ensure that after you repent, whatever sacrifice that you give up is accepted by Yah. So in cases in which, now remember family, I did a lecture called All Sins Created Equal. Go back and check that out. All sins are not created equal. All sins do not require sacrifice. So when people say, oh yeah, every time you sin, you gotta offer this and that up. No, that's what Christians teach, right? A lot of Christians say, well, you can't keep all of Torah because if you do, you gotta give a sacrifice every time you break a sin. And I say, really? Every time you commit a sin, I say, really? Where's that at in the Tanakh? Show me that in Torah. Where Torah says that every time you commit a sin, you have to give an offering. Where's that at? Where's that at? So I did a whole lecture on this, right? I explained all of this in that lecture. So when I pray to Yah in repentance for Yah to forgive me of my sins, right? To be merciful and gracious towards me. In that prayer, I will invoke the name of the high priest, who's after the order of Melchizedek, in which I'm an inductee of. So he can perform the rest of the work and I can be absolved of that action. Now, it depends on the nature of this act. So I'll give you an example. Any act that's committed that requires a sacrifice are the ones, if I break, I invoke the name of this high priest so that way he can perform the rest of the work, so that way I'm atoned for it, right? But other things as well, you don't need a high priest involved for them. Certain things, you're just unclean. Like if I accidentally eat something and there's pork in it, there's no capital punishment tied to that because that's not a capital offense. I'm just unclean. So I will follow the ritual of cleanliness to cleanse me of my uncleanliness. And that has nothing to do with me asking y'all to forgive me of that sin. I mean, I did not do it intentionally, right? So I don't need to ask y'all to forgive me for that sin. I just need to rectify it on my own. See, the problem is we become so dependent on Yah that we never act in the power in which he's given us. Because we become so wholly dependent on Yah. Yah has given you power to perform certain things. That's why his law is not grievous to you. When you go back and watch Are All Sins Created Equal, there are sins unto death, and there are sins that are not unto death. The sins that are unto death are all the capital offenses, which require capital punishment, which is death. But then there are sins that are not unto death, that if you commit, it makes you unclean, it makes you cut off, or something that is just an undesirable act that you're not to do because it's seen as unfavorable in the eyes of the community. You got to know which is what. What penalty is connected to what? It's like when people tell you, oh, you don't got your fringes on, you're going to be destroyed. Like people tell you don't have your fringes on. I encourage people to wear their fringes, right? It's an ethnic marker. People need to identify you. And it's a reminder to you to keep the statutes, laws, and commandments of the Most High, you know, physically as well as the Ruach inside to teach you spiritually. But if you don't wear your fringes, are you going to be destroyed? You have to ask somebody, what is the capital punishment for not wearing fringes? What does the text say about that? If I don't wear my fringes tomorrow, God forbid, and do I need to repent for that? Do I have to give an offering for that? Okay. Hey, I'm just saying. Just saying. So that's why even when you read in Brit Hadashah, for those of you who subscribe to Brit Hadashah, where we see in the book of John is a sin unto death. I pray that you don't pray for those who are involved in that. And it's a sin not unto death, and those I pray for you to pray for those who are involved in that, so that way you can win that brother or sister, whatever the case may be. There's a difference between sins unto death and sins that's not unto death. When you go back and study the Torah, you realize there are sins unto death and sins that are not unto death. The sins unto death, you deserve the death penalty for. Because you're in captivity, there's a lot of mercy. But not in all cases, because you can be penalized for capital offenses in this society. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is there's a great degree of mercy because a lot of those capital offenses are not punishable by death by the American legal system, right? So what I'm saying is if I commit any of those, I have to ask y'all to forgive me, and I have to invoke the name of Yahushua, who's the high priest after the order of Melchizedek, in which I'm an inductee of, so he can finish the atonement work. That's how I operate. And one day I'll go a little bit more in depth into this with y'all and explain this to y'all. Yes, Freddie Jackson, I do. Yes, I do. Okay. One is historical and one is an egregore. Okay. So anyway, make sure y'all understand that. Please make sure you understand that. All right. I want y'all to understand that. So all of our prayers should direct it towards the Most High Yah. All of our prayers. The only time in which I invoke Yahusha is where it's a matter in which he has been given authority to act on our behalf on. And I explain what that entails. If we was in a land and the Levites were established in the land and we committed a capital offense, guess what? We would have to be put to death. In the text, there were some exceptions where people were not put to death for committing certain acts. But for the most part, you can be put to death. But there's other acts if you commit it unknowingly, then you give your sacrifice. So when you go back and watch that lecture, Are All Sins Created Equal? I break down for you all the various offerings. I break down for you the different types of sin. And I explain for you where it says a sin that's unto death. And when the scripture says that he who has the seed of Yah in him, he cannot sin because the seed of Yah dwelleth in him. What do you mean he cannot sin? But then you make a distinction between two different types of sin. So which sin are we talking about? We're talking about the sins unto death. If you have the seed of Yah in you, you will not commit any of the sins unto death. And not only just that, you'll strive to keep as many of the statutes and commandments as you possibly can, that you're able to while in captivity. And if you break any one of those other ones, those do not have a death penalty attached to it. They don't. So it's all in what's in your heart. If you have the seed of Yah in you, the Zerah, the seed of Yah in you, you have the Ruach, you're not going to commit any capital offenses. If you want to know what those capital offenses are, go back and watch Are All Sins Created Equal? I go into each and every one for y'all. I'll outline it. All right. So Van Copes, again, that's an excellent question. But if you go back and watch the lecture that I did, it's called Capital Punishment, Human Sacrifice for the Atonement of Sin in the Bible. I answered that in regards to no man shall come to me, no man shall come to the Father but by me. That has to do with the priesthood system. Okay. If your sins are not atoned for, you cannot approach Yah. If you're in your sins and your sins are not forgiven, you can approach Yah. How are your sins forgiven? When the priest performs a particular function, right? But it depends on what sins. Depends on what sins. Again, all sins are not created equal. That is a lie from the pits of Hades. All right? That's over there in the valley of Ben Hinnom out in Israel somewhere. Okay? That's where that's from. Right? People say that's a lie from the pits of hell. And I'm like, well, hell, hell is green, right? Hell is green. Very interesting. Hell is green. But anyway, so Freddie Jackson, Human Sacrifice. I watched it, opened my eyes. Yes, that lecture is an eye opener. All right, I'll post it up again for you guys. I put a lot of effort into putting that out, but I'll paste it here. Go back and check it out. All right, there it is. Go back and check it out. All right. So let me see. What is? So Ryan says, how do we break down hell or Sheol for people who do not have this knowledge? All right, so let me give you that lecture too, because I explained that in the lecture as well. And I played that also on a live stream. So the person asking that probably is not familiar with that, and that's fine. Let me go ahead and direct you to where you need to go. And I have a lecture that gives much needed detail in regards to that. Okay, let me find it real quick. Here it is. Okay. All right, let me do like 2 more questions. I'm about to go, family. Y'all putting a lot of questions in there. All right, so here's the lecture that I talk about hell. I'm gonna post the link up. I'm gonna give you all the time marker, so you can see that hell is green. Hold on.
That's been our fault. Sometimes we want to put the blame on somebody else. We're moving forward.
All right, so go to this lecture here, and I'm gonna give you the time marker. All right, I'm gonna give you the time marker. Thank you, Shawnee, for adding those links. So if you click on that link that I just send you and click on that and go to that time marker, you'll get more detail in regards to hell, right, or Hades. All right. All right. Do you consider hell and Sheol the same thing? No. I don't consider them same thing. Maybe you mean Hades and Sheol. They've been correlated together, but they really mean, I'm not gonna say 2 different things, because Hades can be the abode of the dead, but it has the connotation of an afterlife essence to it when you study Greek literature. And Sheol is really the grave, but it can also take on a connotative value of being the abode of the dead. So Hades and Sheol can be correlated, right? And we see this by looking at the Septuagint. and the Masoretic text, and they're comparing the Septuagint to what we see in the Brit Hadashah New Testament. Okay. Anytime, Mr. Casanova, no problem. All right. So they can correlate, but depending on the context in which they're used, they can mean two different things. All right. All right. So King Kosher says, are we going to admit Matthew made a mistake in Matthew 27:9? Where is that prophecy in Jeremiah? Now, King Kosher, I have a question for you. Okay. Can you cite for me the autograph of the book of Jeremiah? Can you cite that for me? Cite that for me if you don't mind. I'll wait. All right. Cite that for me and we'll go from there. All right. So when you give me a response to that, then I'll follow up. All right. So I'm going to say it again. All right. King Kosher, what I would like for you to do is cite for me the autograph of the book of Jeremiah. Cite it for me. Okay. And we'll move from there. All right. Ryan Smith says, are there scriptures you can point to study this further? Well, what is this? Tell me what this is. Okay. King Kosher says, are you saying the book of Jeremiah is not credible? That's not what I said. All I asked you for is to cite for me the autograph of the book of Jeremiah. Now, depending upon your answer to that, we can move forward into addressing the point that you're making. Okay. And then once we deal with that, then I'm also going to ask you a question in regards to the book of Matthew as well. Okay. Because there's a lot of gray areas in the literature that we have today, and we have to acknowledge these things. Okay. Yeah. So Ryan Smith, I put the link up, scroll up, my brother, click on the link that I posted, go to time marker 1 hour, 5 minutes and 22 seconds of that lecture called Through the Valleys and Onto the Mountains. And you will get plenty of other scriptures that deal with that. Okay. All right. So King Kosher. All right. I know, I'm trust me, I'm completely familiar with that. I'm familiar with Bible difficulties. I'm familiar with harmonization of certain scriptures. I know about textual criticism. I know exactly what it is that you're talking about. I'm not estranged to it, but I did ask you a question, right? So if you answer the question, then I can bring our conversation forward so you can see where I'm getting at. All right. Anytime, Ryan, no problem. And I'm not. This is not being adversarial towards you, King Kosher. But if you're gonna come on strong like that, I'm gonna give you certain responses that's gonna actually direct you into the direction that the context of what you're asking should be placed in. Okay. So Yosef Abdiel Iban Yashar Allah said, "Who are the priests in the order of Melchizedek today? Are they on earth?" Yes, they are priests after the order of Melchizedek on earth, and we ourselves can be inducted into that priesthood if we follow the ritual, so we can be inducted into that priesthood. If you go back and watch the lecture that I did on capital punishment, human sacrifice for the atonement of sin in the Bible, I explained that. All right, I go into that for you guys. All right. Now, Jacob James says, are we to abstain from intercourse with our spouse on the Sabbath? That is up to you, right? There's no penalty for coming together with your spouse on the Sabbath. There was a circumstantial situation where Moshe is instructed to tell the children of Israel not to come into each other or come into each other or come together for a particular purpose, but that is not a mitzvah that we are not to do on the Sabbath. Okay, so again, that is up to you. If that is an act of pleasure that can wait until after the Sabbath is over, then maybe you should wait. Maybe you should exercise, discipline and wait. But if it happens, is it a capital offense? No, it's not. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. And if anybody says anything other than that, will have to show me a mitzvah in which that you're told not to do that, right? Now I'm being asked, what day is the Sabbath? The Sabbath, according to the Gregorian calendar, is what we call Saturday, right? But the Sabbath outside of the Gregorian calendar and outside of captivity that we keep today is something totally different. And when I do my lecture on a Sabbath, I'll give more detail into that. So if you're living in this society, right, you're going to be governed by this calendar. So certain things have to be synchronized and aligned with this Gregorian calendar. But the moment that you are off the grid and you are autonomous and you have no need for the societal structure, then you can establish the real Sabbath. All right. And preferably it should be done in the land. Okay. All right. So let me see what else you're saying. That I'm out of here, family. So let me see what else you got. All right, family. I think this is everything right now. Let's see. So Beverly Gatlin said, do you feel that Native Americans are part of the chart? I'm assuming you mean the 12 tribes chart. That's a great question. I don't subscribe to the 12 tribes chart. If there are natives here that could possibly be Israelites, I would say that's a possibility. But I would say that there's no definitive way for us to know for sure, right? And this is not to disenfranchise anybody who's a Native American and claims to be Israelite through blood. That's on you. That's your conviction. That's what you can prove. That's fine. But I'm speaking from my perspective, okay? So, for example, the tribe of Gad is supposed to be the North American Indian, right, or Native American. And that is divvied out based on Genesis chapter 49. And looking at, going into the Apocrypha and other works in which the northern tribes sailed all the way to a different land that they didn't know. And people say that that is the Americas, right? So that's the doctrine on that, simplified, okay? But like I said, I don't subscribe to the 12 tribes chart. In regards to the Native Americans, you would have to tell me what tribe in particular. You have to show me the evidence that you had. Now, what I will say is there's a documentary that's out, and it's an excellent documentary. I spoke to the two brothers before they actually put it out in DVD form. And one of the brothers, Oman Yasat, me and him had discussions on it when he gathered his information, was asking me for some tips or whatever. And I said, hey, the best thing to do is to prove this thing without the Bible. If you can prove it without the Bible, then you're making a great point. And what they did was they worked to show that Native Americans are indeed from, the northern tribes. The name of the actual documentary is called Despierta Mi Gente. Okay. And y'all can go and speak to Mala Akab AOC and chat with him if you want to get that DVD. It's an excellent DVD. And if you're concerned in regards to the question that's asked about the Native Americans being a part of Israel, definitely check out that DVD. All right. My specialty is not in that area. Okay. My specialty is more connected to the transatlantic slave trade and the Israelite tribes in West Africa who then made their way over here to the Americas, right? By force, most of them, right? So that's really what my specialty is in. So I like to really put a lot of emphasis on the areas that I specialize in, areas that I don't specialize in. I can point you in the right direction. I can give you my perspective on it, and then push you to go do the further research in that area. All right, because that's what I like to do. I like to lead people to the water and let them drink on their own. You know what I'm saying? So, the link that you're talking about, the sister posted it up there. Let me click on it. I clicked on it and it's working. So the sister Shawnee, she posted the link up there. So if you just scroll up and look at Talk to for Shawnee, the link that she posted right before the calendar link, you can click on it and see. All right. Yes, there's things that I wanted to say, King Kosha, and I did not say in that lecture. You are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And Paul was rebuked several times, and there was a lot of issues with him and others in the text. All right. And Paul also, according to his own testimony, he rebuked people as well. All right. So, you know, the way and like I say, you know, I give you my perspective in regards to my take on the so-called New Testament, as well as my take on the Tanakh. I apply textual criticism and textual analysis and comparative cultural studies and history and all of that. I use the same methodology and put the Tanakh through the same thing I put the New Testament through. All right. So the way I approach it is to, again, oh, you want me to spell that? Hold on. Hold on, let me put this in there. There you go. So it's this despierta mi gente, which means awaken my people, right? So that's it right there. You can contact Mala Akab AOC. He's on Facebook, and you can ask him, tell him that you want to order the DVD, okay? Freddie Jackson, I answered that in my last live stream in regards, was it a live stream? No, it wasn't a live stream. Matter of fact, I spoke about that on Debate Talk for You. There was a Debate Talk for You session early this week. I believe it was on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Wednesday? It was Tuesday, or sometime this week. That was talking about Hebrew Israelites from the House of Consciousness. And on there, a brother asked me, you know, which manuscript is has the greatest veracity of the Tanakh. And he was asking me, you know, was it Dead Sea Scrolls? Was it Septuagint, Samaritan Pentateuch? Was it the Ethiopic Tanakh text? You know, and I told him that I primarily use the Masoretic text because it's greater attested. We have more manuscripts of that than the others. And it's the standard in regards to academia. But I always cross-reference it with the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Septuagint, etc. My objective is to reconstruct the best translation as possible and double-check that against the translations that are out there, okay? And that's why I've learned to be literate in reading the text, all right? But because we don't have any autographs, we have to apply textual criticism, which means we're going to see textual variants. And I'm going to give an example. We have in some manuscripts lines that are in one book of the Tanakh that is not found in another book of the Tanakh. And that is based on textual criticism. If we didn't look at all the manuscripts, we wouldn't see these nuances that are there. So it depends on what manuscripts you're looking at, what's the text type family, who's responsible for penning it, and what time period was it penned. You know, what doctrine did the scribe believe in? Was the scribe education level low? Was it high? There's so many different things. What did the scribe have available to him, etc. Okay, so I try to take into account all the manuscript evidence that we have. And when I analyze a particular part of the text, primarily I use the Masoretic text. More specifically, I match it against the Leningrad Codex, but I also cross-reference it with the Dead Sea Scrolls, Septuagint, Samaritan Pentateuch when it comes to the Torah, right? Or any other manuscript fragments that we have, such as the Nash Papyrus and things of that nature. So I can't say that one is better than the other. What I will say, the one that is the most complete that we have attested is the Masoretic text. So that's the primary go-to the one that I use to go to, but I always cross-reference it, right? And I showed y'all some of that in previous live streams in case y'all were not aware of it, okay? Van Coates, email me so I can help you out with that name, with what you're trying to say in regards to righteousness. So Zedek has to do with being righteous. So if you want to turn that into a name, let me know and we can work on that. All right. Ikwan Asing, email me. Shout out to Slowfo the God. Shout out to Viper One in the building. Jay Fearson in the building. All right. Thank you for the information, Shawnee. I appreciate that. So I'm about to go, family, because it's getting late. And I know y'all have a lot of questions. I apologize if I didn't get to all your questions. Please email me or inbox me on Facebook. Look up Divine Prospect, or hit me up on Instagram at Kingdom Moments, or hit me up on Twitter. Look for Divine Prospect. I'm on all those things. Or you can inbox me on YouTube as well. Inbox me your questions and let me go through it, and I'll get back to you. Or I'll repeat it on the next live stream, and we'll get into that before we tackle anything else. All right. Shout out to Ben B. Zion in the building. Appreciate that. Oh, wow. I did, Ryan. All praise to the Most High. I didn't even know that. All praise to the Most High for that. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. That helps to encourage me. Helps keep me encouraged. I appreciate that. All right. So I'm about to get out of here, family. Now, Shawnee, I know you had a question. Can you ask your question real quick? Let me see if I can address it before I get off the line, because I did say that I wanted to address it. So if you still want to ask a question, you can definitely ask it, and I'm gonna go get some sleep. And I see there's still a lot of y'all up in here, man. That's why I said if I ever need anything, I know exactly who to come to. You guys. All right. You guys. Okay. All right. So all right. So man, I'm getting messages from everywhere. Appreciate that, my brother Bakar Yahuda. Okay, no problem, Shawnee. No problem. Peace to you as well, the Black App One, King Kosher, peace to you. And King Kosher, it's all love. Hopefully you didn't take anything personal, because I didn't take nothing personal. I love questions like that, and I would definitely like to build with you more. Maybe if you would like, I can invite you on one of the live streams, and maybe you can just have a build or a dialogue. Just let me know. All right. Errol Brown, email me at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. Put in the subject matter debt relief. Put debt relief in the subject matter if you want assistance in regards to debt elimination, so I can assist you with that. Okay. And I'm going to be ramping up requests for services in the next couple of months. All right. So this will be a good time for y'all. If you have debt issues, non-federal third-party debt that's being collected on behalf of a third-party collector from the original creditor, we can definitely assist you with that. For people who want the naturopathic health consultations, we're definitely here to help you out with that as well. Those are two of the main services that I offer via Kingdom Harbinger Ministries. And other things. You have computer issues that you need fixed or repaired or whatever, virus removal. You need help with setting up something, or whatever the case may be. There's another program that I offer as well. Let me know. But again, any of these programs, just put it in the subject matter. If you want the health consultation, put health consultation in the subject matter, or put debt relief in the subject matter, or anything else. So that way I can categorize them and I can get back to you. So the email, just so y'all have it. That's the email for y'all. If you want to email those things to me, let me get back to you. And I think we had a pretty good show today, family. Thank you so much for participating. I appreciate that. For anybody whose questions I didn't get to, again, next live stream, make sure you're there. Ask me to hammer those questions until I get to them. You know what I'm saying? Or find some other means of sending it to me so I can answer it for you. I love you guys. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for working with me. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you for reminding me, right? Because I need all of that. You know what I'm saying? And without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at, you know? So, you know, I thank you guys. I love you guys, man. Shout out to Freddie Jackson. All praise to the Most High. I'm grateful that I could serve you and your household and just bring the spirit of Yah into your life, you know, to encourage you, to keep you going, wherever it was. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve you, family. You know what I mean? So it's always good to hear those positive reports, you know, because it could be worse. You know, so I'm grateful for any little bit that comes in. All right. Thank you for everybody that's been praying for me. Thank you for the donations as well. Thank you for sharing this video. Thank y'all for participating. And like I said, if I ever need something, I'm going to come to y'all first. All right. And if y'all need something and I can help, let me know. All right. So with that, family, I love you guys. Get you some rest, some sleep. You can be energized in the morning. Keep fighting a good fight. And you know, Divine Prospect got your back because I know you got mine. Love you, family. Peace, shalom, BP.